Welcome to another episode of Kentucky Esports Weekly, where we decipher esports industry news and give our own informed opinions. My name is Nathan Stevens. I'm your host on today's journey. We have a lot to discuss today, including the new show format, Sony's State of Play, Spidey making an appearance in Avengers, and Alex Cutadean will be joining us to discuss the speaker series featuring the writer of The Last of Us 2. Anyway, lots to discuss, so let's kick it off with quick hitters. And starting quick hitters off, LDLC-OL, a French professional esports organization from Lyon, has signed with EPOS, a manufacturer that focuses on audio esports solutions. The partnership will ensure that the LDLC team will carry EPOS and Sennheiser products into tournaments and support them during downtime. Mahasan Grimnitz, head of global marketing, gaming, and EPOS, had this to say about the partnership. Our esports partnerships allow us the opportunity to join up with leading esports teams and enable them to elevate their game experience to brand new heights. LDLCOL has an impressive legacy in the French esports world, and we're excited to partner with them so that we can tell the story of what premium audio can do for the gaming experience. And it can do quite a bit, let me tell you. Again, as I have said several times, this pandemic, as awful as it might be, has certainly brought together a lot of partnerships that are in the esports sector, as esports has now become a more valuable form of entertainment for gamers and non-gamers at home. I know a lot of people enjoy the NASCAR racing and the F1 racing that usually don't watch it, but certainly something to celebrate. Partnerships are. So, speaking of celebration, as of July 27th of this year, Blizzard's StarCraft turned 10 years old. StarCraft was released on July 27th, 2010, and has enjoyed being a wonderful cash cow for Blizzard, and with most copies being sold in South Korea, which is a very big hot zone for the game. StarCraft 2 has transformed itself into a competitive online venture over the years, with players competing against each other head-to-head, which would probably explain its longevities over the years. And it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. But anyway, happy birthday to StarCraft 2. And that is it for quick hitters. So let's shift to industry news with Hailey and Tyler.
Hello, I'm Tyler Ralston.
And I'm Hailey Salyers.
And this is the week's industry news. First, we have some Halo Infinite multiplayer information. The release of Halo Combat Evolved was a defining moment in gaming for the first-person shooter genre on consoles. Later sequels in Halo 2 and 3, alongside the eventual Forerunner saga expanding to 4 and 5, would continue to refine or completely rework the foundations for the series. The campaign for each game was an integral part of the experience, but for many it was the multiplayer competition and later the user-generated content through Forge that helped to bring life to an incredible community of dedicated players that has persisted to this day. Multiplayer was always a part of the package when players bought each new installment. However, the next title, Halo Infinite, is promising a bit of a change. On July 31st, the official Halo Twitter account tweeted a confirmation to leaks that had been circulating for a while, revealing that Halo Infinite's multiplayer would indeed launch as free-to-play. Additionally, the announcement explained that the game will also support 120 frames per second and reduced load times on the Xbox Series X, with more details to come in due time. The leaks that originally brought up these features also mentioned Halo Infinite featuring a Battle Pass system and new customization options, though these have yet to be confirmed.
Marvel's Avengers is less than a month away from release, and now we know a little bit more about the plans for a few specific characters. Spider-Man won't be available immediately at the game's release. He will instead arrive early next year and will be a PlayStation exclusive. While some fans are pleased with this decision, others have voiced concerns that the character will be either too great in absence from other platforms or feel too forced and gimmicky for PlayStation users. Another announcement from Crystal Dynamics confirmed that Hawkeye will be the first DLC character available after launch. The character will have his own storyline that can be played solo or in cooperation with other players. And our final piece of news from Marvel's Avengers, players who participate in the game's beta could be eligible for Fortnite gear thanks to a partnership with Epic Games. That potential gear includes a Hulk Smasher's pickaxe weapon that changes the look of players' hands. Marvel's Avengers will be available for PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and PC on September 4th.
Sometime in 2008, GameStop was plagued by numerous potential customers around the world prank calling into their local shops asking about special pre-order copies for a new game titled Battletoads. In truth, Battletoads was a notoriously difficult beat-em-up released in 1991 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, which spawned a few later spin-offs, but has largely been unheard of for the last few years. In the end, though, it seems the joke is on us, because although a sequel had been announced in 2018, very little news has been discussed on it until July 31st of this year. A brand new trailer was released on Xbox's YouTube channel with a cartoonish art style that sees the return of Battletoads' key characters Rash, Zitz, and Pimple on a new self-described multi-genre adventure, which the trailer demonstrates with mixes of beat-em-up and platformer gameplay alongside their turbo bike segments. Details released also reveal the inclusion of 3-player couch co-op for those who want a classic gaming experience. The new Battletoads is under development by Delilah Studios, partnered with Rare, with a set release of August 20th.
Do you suffer from thalassophobia? If you have a fear of the ocean, vast empty bodies of water, large waves, drowning, or sea creatures, then the latest offer from Sea of Thieves may help to put you at ease. Developer Rare has added an auto float option that will keep players from dropping below the sea level. If a player is launched into the ocean, they will quickly rise back up to the surface. The feature can be activated by selecting Automatically Float in Water from the settings menu. This isn't the first instance of a game being adjusted to alleviate a phobia. The game Grounded has an option for arachnophobic players to adjust just how spider-like the game's giant creatures appear. As for Sea of Thieves, developer Rare has continually added new features and options since the game's 2018 launch, and more additions are expected down the road. But for now, players with any number of water-based phobias can take the journey to becoming pirate legends.
For all the faithful owners of the PlayStation 4, July 28th brought some good news. After what seems to be an accidental early listing, Studio MDHR came out and publicly announced that Cuphead was finally getting a release on Sony's console. A trailer was also released, with gameplay accompanying the upbeat stop-motion animation to announce the game's arrival on the PlayStation Store for purchase right now. Cuphead is available on PC, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and now PlayStation 4, so all variety of players can experience its beautifully animated classical cartoon challenges.
And finally, we are less than a month away from the launch of the remastered version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. One fan-favorite feature of the original game was the soundtrack. Songs were included from artists like Goldfinger, Bad Religion, Power Man 5000, Rage Against the Machine, and Papa Roach. The remastered version of the game will keep 18 of those same songs and include 37 new ones, from artists including Machine Gun Kelly, American Nightmare, Real Big Fish, and Sublime. Like the original soundtrack, the new songs will span from rap to ska punk to rock. Hopefully fans will enjoy the new selections as much as the game's nostalgic classics. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on September 4th. Fans can pre-order the game now for PC and Xbox One. And that's it for this week's industry news. Now back to Nathan.
Well, here we are in our wrap-up section. It's the events and wrap-up for the day. And we bring in Alex Cutadean once again for our usual wrap-up. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Do you want to briefly kind of tell everybody what the changes we're doing with the show are?
Yeah, definitely. You may have noticed already, maybe by the runtime, that we're packaging things a little bit differently. And we really wanted to highlight, there's so much great content produced by our team. We really wanted to give every piece of content the time and place it deserved. And so we are restructuring things to reach the biggest audience with each of our elements, and to really give each segment the attention it deserves. So Kentucky Esports Weekly will continue to have esports and industry news, as well as events, UK events, and Nathan and I will wrap up the show like we are now each week. And let's see, we will appear on the main YouTube channel, as well as rerun on Twitch. And you will also have our interview segment and History in 5 Minutes segment. Those will appear on a new Kentucky Esports YouTube channel. So you can find Kentucky Esports Weekly on the main UK Esports, the main UK YouTube channel, so that we can get that information about events out to the widest group as possible. But the more really video game specific content is going to be on that Kentucky Esports YouTube channel, and we'll post a link to that. The Push to Talk panel is going to get the reins taken off, so to speak, so they can go deeper into their discussions and also get some interaction with the chat room. They will still be on Twitch. We've yet to set a final time on that, but be looking for them. This week, we're going to run that during our normal time slot for this show. Next week, we'll post some information about when you can find them on Twitch, and you'll be able to find that in our Twitch schedule. So that's all we've got for the new format. We're excited to launch that new YouTube channel and really condense this content so that we can reach the right people and get the biggest audience for it. And so you don't have to watch an hour to get your latest esports news.
That's very cool. Speaking of exciting and new, there's a speaker series coming up. Do you want to tell us about that as well?
That's right. So that will be Thursday. That is Thursday, August 6th. We have Forming a Narrative in Games. So Naughty Dog lead editor Ryan James is going to join Julian Benichu from Gen G and UK alumna Brianna Richardson to discuss storytelling in video games, including his work on Last of Us Part 2, a huge game that just launched, and that should be an exciting discussion. That'll be at 4 p.m. Thursday, August 6th on Twitch TV/University of KY. That should be a great discussion and huge property with Last of Us 2 and someone who worked directly on the game, so really excited to see that.
That's very cool. And I know there was some controversy behind the story, so they will probably get a lot of questions. So I know we have a short amount of time here. We have two quick things to go through. One is Sony's State of Play that's coming out this month, which was everybody was hoping it would be PS5 stuff, including price and pre-order starting. But it looks like it's going to be PS4, PSVR items of interest, and no PS5. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, as fans, you want to see as much as you can as quickly as possible, and around these times we get so eager to see new content, and there's some stuff that's not ready to see yet, or there's a lot of either politics or jockeying for position where PlayStation or Sony is waiting for Microsoft to announce something, Microsoft's waiting for Sony to announce something, and so sometimes there's some games going on in the background that we don't know about as well. I guess we just have to wait and see.
Somebody's just got to wrap it up. When it comes to who's going to show the price and when it's coming out, one of the two companies needs to do it. So before we leave, one last controversial Sony issue. What's your opinion of Spider-Man making an appearance in the Avengers game, but only for PlayStation because Sony owns the rights to Spidey?
Too bad for the other platforms. I think it's kind of hilarious. Sony's the king of format wars, and this just proves it with Sony still owning the license to Spider-Man.
You can almost hear all the excitement of the Xbox fans go up when Spider-Man was announced and then deflate so very quickly. So very cool. All right. Well, this was a great first go around with the new format. And Alex, thank you for joining us. And
thank you.
Yeah, more to come, you all. So please stay tuned to this channel. And as the YouTuber would say, please subscribe and keep up with us. We will definitely keep up with the industry for you. Have a good one.